Thank you, Fan and Kwanam from the newsroom. We're back to the morning edition right here. And of course, I am Marian Delekwe alongside my comrades in the studio, gentlemen of the press, Chiku Madumere and Isaac Barry. We'll turn attention now to Osun State in Nigeria. The countdown to the Osun State governorship election is well underway and while political parties are making their final moves, many voters are asking a different question. What should truly determine who gets their vote? Beyond campaign promises and political slogans, issues such as accountability, security, infrastructure, education, and integrity of the electoral process are expected to shape the outcome. Now, the Osun people are looking forward to bringing either their next governor who is fresh in the block or a retainer. Maybe keep Adeleke right there to continue. So what are we going with? To join us to discuss and to help us understand all of this as regards to election, what it really takes for voters and for Nigeria's democracy, is the CEO of Kingpath Development Initiative. He is Bukola Idowu, who joined us this morning virtually to take a look at Osun in focus. A very good morning to you, Mr. Idowu.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Indeed, thank you for joining us on the program this morning. Bright and early, thank you.
Good morning.
We'll get right into it. You are not stranger to election conversations such as this. I mean, as campaigns now gather momentum, what do you believe should be the biggest concern for Osun voters? I mean, the personalities seeking office or the issues affecting their daily lives? What should the Osun people set as a, should I say, a yardstick for them to bring a person back to office? Are they returning Adeleke or do they need a new face?
Well, I think basically Osun people need to begin to look at in terms of analyzing the policy, the programs, and the content of the manifesto of the major actors contesting in this election. You see, over the years, one of the things you see is that the popular candidate is not actually the one that have the best manifesto. And that is why most times when they choose leadership for them, for the citizen, and then maybe in 1 or 2 years, people start complaining. And it's because people did not or really analyze the policy, intended policy of the candidate and of the or the manifesto. So basically, I think what Osun people need to begin to look at is that they need to begin to see, look, who has the best idea, the best manifesto, the best policy that will move the state forward. Now, the two leading candidates, I put it as APC and Accord. Accord is the incumbent party, and then APC, was there before. So two of these people, two of these political parties are not new to Osun people. So basically, they just need to choose who have done well, who can move the state forward. Of course, there are other political parties like ADC and the rest. So those people are also bringing in their manifesto and in terms of their policy and what they want to do. What I think Osun people need to do is to begin to analyze this policy and see who can actually help them. Now, Nigeria as a whole, we know what we have been facing in terms of economy, in terms of security. And so what they need to do is who can actually provide this for them. And I think this election basically is also going to, a greater part of the election is going to also look into that. Unlike in some other election that the vote buying will decide who is likely going to win the election. But I think with what I have seen on ground, I think our candidate program will also play a role here. And that may be a good thing.
Mr. Idowu, I'd like to ask quickly, how important and how critical is this election for the Osun people? We've seen Adeleke run before, and then out of office, he couldn't get in, but here he is again, trying to battle to retain the same office. But how important is this election for the Osun people?
Now, let me start. Not only Osun people, we need to understand that this election is important to Nigeria it's important to INEC, it's important to security agency, important to the media, important to the the civil society. And in what way? This is the last off-cycle election before the general election in January. And January is maybe roughly like about 6 months. Now, so this is what for us at KDI, we have tagged an election and democratic rehearsal for the coming election. So one is that this election is important because if INEC will get it right in this election, then it's likely going to, the level of trust for INEC is likely going to increase to see that, look, oh, the people will say, look, they did well in Osun, so it means they've perfected the process. And if anything, if they fall below par, then it's going to really, really raise red flag for INEC at the national. The same thing for security agency. In fact, the security agency is the most important here because as it is in Osun, in the last 12 months, there have been cases of 61 election violence in Osun. 61 election violence in Osun, and 23 people have died. So what it means is that how they are able to police and secure Osun during the election will signal what they will do at the national, including the media. Media freedom, how media is able to access the collation center, how credible they are able to report the result, will also determine what we are likely going to face in 2027 for political parties, civil society, and that is why I said not only Osun people, but to the entire nation. So the preparation we put into Osun, again, for people of Osun, you see, if there is apathy in this election, if there is low turnout in this election, it's also going to be a pointer to what we are likely going to see in the general election. But let's now narrow it down to Osun people. See, Osun need basically to decide that, look, they want to set a pace. One, setting a pace for the country in terms of peaceful conduct of that election. Now, we are looking to an election that will be violence-free. So it's important for Osun people to set that pace, that look, election can be won and lost without violence. Number two, one of the things we also want to see is in terms of reduction of vote buying. And so it's also good for Osun people to see this. Then when we now come into the aspect of the candidate, you see, the candidate, the rhetorics we have been getting from the candidate recently has been worrying. And we think this election is important for the candidate, both APC, Accord, and ADC, to douse the tension and encourage people to come out. My fear is that the level of violence we have seen in the build-up to this election might affect voter turnout because it's the people are likely going to be afraid of coming out. But at the same time, the candidate need to douse the tension. The security agency need to be neutral and be and less partisan and secure the election. INEC need to get logistic right, and that is how we are likely going to have a very
Mr.
good
Bukola,
election.
let me quickly come in here. We've had the IG, Disu, paid a visit to Osun State, where he met with his officers and even had to go to the government house to say we want peace, we do not want violence, right? And then we had a town hall meeting where there was an agreement for peace to reign. We do not want violence. But still, here we are. We still have fresh cases even after all of those meetings were had. The IG of police spoke to it. Commissioner said, okay, we're on the same table. Town hall meeting agreement between security personnel and even the people of Osun State. But here we are with violence. Why do we still have this going on in the state? And why this heated violence leading to the elections? Why?
So, I have said it the other time, when you look at the election, it's very important to the general election. There are some people within the state that were acting on what nobody sent them to do. They start spreading fake information. So let me give you an example. When you begin to have a narratives on the narrative going around that, look, oh, this is the president's state, it will be embarrassing for the president to lose this state, and that alone is fueling the violence, because it's now begin to pose give a body language that they want this, they wanted to get the state by all means. That is number one. Number two is that a situation where people feel like, and it's almost all the party, that whoever is going to win Osun is going to be like the body filler for 2027 election. And we have seen that. So, and we have seen that before, because we now say, oh, look, they won Osun, and then the party begin to put in more effort to show that, because it's going to be like a testament of performance, of vote of confidence, of no confidence for whoever win in Osun. So because after that election, you are going to have less than 6 months to general election.
Right.
So you can see why everybody want to win that place to make a statement that we are popular. And that is why these have been intensifying. But lastly, let me say this. The reason why after the town hall meeting, we also organized a summit after the IG visit. The reason why we have been having this is because there have not been consequence. The police need to make an arrest, not about talking to people that they are on ground. You need to make an arrest. You need to let people face the consequence of their action. As soon, in as much as this is not done, what it means is that people will be perpetrating the violence and nothing will be happening. And when people perpetrate violence, election violence, and nothing happens, then they tend to multiply it. It keeps going higher and higher. And the other political party will say, oh, excuse me, nobody has monopoly of violence. And that is what we have seen. So the IG, for me, the security agency should match their statement with action. Go in, arrest people. Now, just last week, there was a deadly clash around Idisheke in Oshogbo. What has happened? How many people have been arrested? People were wielding guns, shotguns, and of course, you can actually see proliferation on arms. Have they been able to move in to mop up this thing and then arrest people and clean up this place? If they don't do that, if you are just waiting for the election day, it will be already late. To now say you are waiting for that time, you will deploy 40,000 people to the state. That will be late, because the essence of violence is to create fear in the heart of the people not to come. Most especially, is being strategic in a way that you go and keep causing violence constantly in the opposition stronghold, and then so that the people will be afraid to come out on the day of election. What have you done? You have been able to reduce the votes of the opposition through psychological violence that is called fear. And because constantly there have been violence in that place. So what they need to do now, and I think all hands must be on deck. Security agencies must match action. Traditional rulers must speak out. The candidate must moderate their action and moderate their rhetoric. And I think that is what they need to do, because it will not augur well for Osun to have an election that the turnout will be very low. And look, Osun have like about 2.3 million registered voter. It will not be good to have it a low turnout.
Very well said. Thank you so much for your analysis on the program this morning, looking at Osun. We'll be sure to come back to you again. But for now, thank you, Bukola Idowu. Of course, is the CEO of Kingpath Initiative. Thank you for your time on the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, the conversation continues, still looking at Osun State in focus. August 15th is around the corner. Why so much tension still happening in the state? And of course, we'll bring you up to speed with all that's happening in Osun. But right now, we'll keep you right here on Real Broadcasting Network, as of course, we have on standby a member of the Accord Party who's also here to give some clarification to the issues happening in Osun State. Why do we still have all of the violence going on in Osun State, despite the IG paid a visit, despite all of the agreements? But you heard Idowu say now, there needs to be some arrest. Why have arrests not have taken place? What's going on? We have Mr. Hezekiah Oladele Bamiji. He is the deputy spokesperson to the governor of Osun State, who is joining us virtually this morning to get into the conversation. Good morning to you, Mr. Oladele. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning to you. I mean, you are the deputy spokesperson to the Osun State governor, and you can let us know what is going on in Osun. Despite all of the security agreements to say that let peace be still, why do we still have chaos going on in your state?
Yes, thank you very much. I listened to Mr. Bukola Idowu, and I feel he has built the cat on why we still have issues of insecurity around. He has told you, and I agree with him, that we have a crop of people who feel that the states must be taken by force, dropping the name of our president, who should be the father of the nation, no matter the color of our party, to especially the security agencies, the police, especially in the state as we speak, making sure that they cause chaos, and I mean every word of it, they instigate unnecessary chaos so as to instigate a kind of fear in the mind of the people. That is what we have basically. That is the summary of it. People who have gauged all other options as to how elections are won, who know that perhaps they don't have the support of the people, and it is evident on the street of Osun State. Even those who are following our campaign, the electioneering campaign going on, will attest to this, that where are the other parties, aside the accord of His Excellency, Senator Ademola Jackson Nuruddin Adeleke, the incumbent governor of Osun State. So it is evident that it is difficult to dislodge Mr. Governor based on his performance, based on his acceptability rate, based on his record of service right from the time he came on the stage after the death of his elder brother, the former governor, the late Senator Isiaka Ademola Adeleke. He was a senator. We will recall that he was a senator, replacing his brother as a Senate, before he emerged the governor of Osun State the second time in 2022, having been rigged out in 2019. So the man, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has continued to soar so high, so much so that
Mr. Oladele, the opposition says it's time for
yeah.
a change in Osun State. Even some of the people from Osun State, it's time for a change. All of this commissioning of projects that is really out at the 11th hour, as they say, is just a face to put up to say we've been working. But do you agree with what they say?
Yes, no, I cannot agree. The only thing I cannot take away from them as opposition is their right to say whatever they want to say. That is what they are condemned to do at this time, to just say anything. You agree with me that it is not possible to just begin to commission projects that are not on ground. These projects have been completed. The flyover is not something you just do overnight. Yes, those projects were completed in record time. In some places, some of these projects will linger there for like 8 years, 10 years. But His Excellency will place a record time on the completion of this project, and the project will be completed within the time. So we have the flyover in Osogbo, 2 flyovers in Osogbo, another in Ile-Ife, Boa Carriageway, in those cities we used to label as ancient cities, the ancient city of Ila, the ancient city of Iwo, the ancient city of Ilesha, the ancient city of Ile-Ife. They have been there like that, but the governor felt that no, we have to change these ancient cities to begin to be 21st century compliant, to change their face economically and all that. And so if the governor chose this time to begin to commission those projects, and
Mr. Bamiji, just a moment. Just a moment. We do not have a lot of time. So just one last issue that we need for you to address. from some of the comments that was made by Mr. Bukola of Kingpath, and I mean from the stats we have seen, in fact, between October last year and June 2026, there's been 44 election-related violence cases. And I mean, it's been known that issues like this affect voter turnout. So our question to you is, who are those who are fueling this crisis in Osun State? What is being done about it? And how do you think this is going to affect the behavior of voters on election day?
Yes, the APC are behind it. Simply put, there's no two ways about it. You will recall that the IG was in the state recently, and he gave a go-ahead, literally ordering the police commissioner here to begin to make arrests. I don't know why that should be, because I expect, as a trained police corps attaining the rank of the police commissioner, it should be able to do its job. But it appears that Mr. Ibrahim Gotan, the police commissioner here, was specifically brought to Osun State to do some hard-check job. Look, just standing or staying there indifferent, why people are being killed, why people are being maimed, just because some people, like we mentioned earlier, and according to Mr. Bukola Idowu too, that they felt that the only card remaining for them is to now begin to create fear, violent fear in the heart of the people. So if we all have to say anything, we all have to beg the APC to make sure that they don't destroy the name of the president. I believe
Mr.
that
Bamiji,
some of these.
we're so sorry. We're out of time. Totally out of time. We do hope to come back to you as the elections get closer. But thank you for your time on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck to the Osun State people.